man, I wish I had a thinner TV. It really is about the experiences in life. And that's what that video was about. I apologize that you didn't get to hear it. See, someone's seen it on TV, so thank you. And I do see that they've had a couple of new versions, so absolutely. So again, I'm Donna, in case somebody joined us. Actually, people did join while we were listening to or watching the video. I am the manager of our Sudbury store, and on the screen you can see Sean and Tammy Friesen. They are our franchise partners. They have been in business now 15 years this year, starting with our Thunder Bay store. And we have a huge team. We're at about 190, and people are still joining us every day from Kenora to North Bay, Windsor, Toronto. We have people everywhere because they may have started in Thunder Bay but then moved, but they still stay on our team. We have been awarded President Circle Diamond status from 2014 to 2019, which is like the top 10% of all the centers. So again, we do a lot of business. We have amazing relationships with pretty much every cruise line out there, as well as land suppliers. In 2019, we had over 8,500 passengers. So we have pretty much booked people all around the world. And Leanne, if you want to switch that, I think you have to keep, because it's going to keep adding. Here we go. Yep. Our stores. So we do have Thunder Bay, Sault Ste. Marie and Sudbury, North Bay, Woodstock, and Windsor. This year we are opening Sarnia and Chatham, and then next year St. Thomas and Aurelia. So I am praying for a nice warm climate, maybe Hawaii. That's what I, want to move and to there to be the manager, but I'm not sure what his plans are. This is some of our wonderful team. You can see we're very lucky as a team. Our franchise partners really build our teamwork and encourage us to travel. So you can see us on a river cruise. There's a bunch of people, Disney World, Rocky Mountaineer, well, actually the one with all the managers is in Windsor. So we really, really encourage and go around the world with our consultants and try to do it together as well. And I think there's a couple more pictures, Leanne, with some of the team, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Maybe, no? I apologize. I'm not sure of which ones are all on there. So we have traveled to all 7 continents. Again, we are a team of almost 200 people. And with that, we have pretty much seen the world, and we have pretty much booked somebody everywhere, including even Antarctica, right up to, so we've done it all. We are very passionate travelers. You can see all the pictures here. These are the consultants, and in the previous slide, this was just us traveling as a team. So not even to mention how much we travel with our families. And the big thing to remember why you want to book with us is that you'll never get a cruise cheaper from a cruise line, no matter what, even any supplier. They want to deal with travel agents. We're the professionals. They know that we're going to put the right people on the right product. So it is just sort of something you get for free for dealing with us, all our expertise. And am I done, Leanne? I apologize for not knowing.
You're done. You're done.
Okay. Well, again, I apologize, guys. I don't know all the slides by heart. I always lose track of them. So again, I just want to thank you so much, Leanne from Royal Caribbean. She is going to tell us all about what's new at Royal. And there is, as you heard, there's a brand new ship out today that she's supposed to be on. So there's lots of great new things and a great sale that's coming up as well that I'm sure she's going to talk about. So I'm going to hand it over to you.
I'm leaving all the good stuff to the end. If that's all at the end. So you have to watch my whole entire presentation to get to the good stuff. But I promise I'll make it as painless as possible and hopefully as fun as possible and get you guys on one of these ships in the future. So I don't know, Donna, do you want me to are you good?
Yeah, go ahead, Leanne. I will stop talking. I would talk all night if you let me. So, and everybody here knows that. So I'm just going to zip it now.
Okay, no problem. So I'm Leanne Hill. So I'm actually the strategic account manager in Western Canada. I look after British Columbia to Manitoba, but I get to be here with you guys tonight. So I'm super excited. I'm actually from Ontario myself, small town Cobourg, Ontario, if any of you guys know it. That's where all my family is. So I go back a lot. But I live in Vancouver now. So yeah, I'm going to just basically go through everything new and exciting at Royal. We have a lot, even with the pandemic, we've build ships, and we have new ships in the water and a lot more ships coming, new destinations, and then just kind of go through what we have, features and things that we have on board that are new as well, and some really cool itineraries that I think that you're going to be wowed by. So we'll get started. So back to Bold. So I just want to show you some stats here regarding our return to service. We have 21 ships back at sea right now. We've carried more than 1 million guests. All of these numbers are because of the vaccination, the policies, all the protocols that we had put in place to make sure that passengers on our ships could sail safely. You know, there was a lot of ups and downs where we had to, you know, cancel sailings and move itineraries and all that, but it was just to make sure that we could continue sailing and that everybody on the ship was safe. So these numbers are a huge congrats to the people at Royal that made this possible for us. So with Royal, we want you to explore the world. These are our biggest philosophies. We inspire adventure, and we deliver world-class service. And if any of you guys have ever sailed on Royal before, you will see all of these things. We take great pride in doing, making a perfect vacation for you. This is super exciting, and I'm going to toot our own horn here, but the Travel Weekly Readers' Choice Awards just came out, and we were voted for the 19th year in a row. We were voted Best Cruise Line overall, Best Cruise Line in the Caribbean. Perfect Day, which I'll talk about in a bit, it was voted the Best Private Island. The Symphony of the Seas, which is one of our Oasis class ships. Not the biggest anymore. It was the biggest ship in the world, but now we have the Wonder. But it was voted the best ship in 2021, among other awards that we won as well. So we were super proud of this, really excited that we got these awards this year. And then with Royal, obviously we want to deliver the great vacations. The most important thing for us is you, the customer. We focus on the customer. We always listen to feedback. You know, at the end of your cruises, you'll always fill out a survey. What did you like? What did you not like? And we take it very seriously. You are listened to, and we make changes on our ships because of you. And then just in saying that, with all of our modernization of our fleets, again, I'll talk about this a little bit later. We have 2 private destinations that we've made just Royal. So these destinations, again, I will go through these, but very exciting private islands that we have, and there's going to be more to come in the future as well. And then the Icon of the Seas, this is our brand new class of ship. These ships are going to be the biggest, the best in the world, bigger than our Oasis class ships. I can't even begin to tell you what's on them because I don't know myself. They won't release any of that information to us, but all I can tell you is they just keep saying, just stay tuned because you're going to be wowed. So that's all I have on that one. And then just going back to the innovative ships, with our innovative, like our technology that's on board, there's some, I'll just quickly go through some of the things that we have. First of all, we do have Voom, which is the fastest internet at sea, making it fantastic these days. A lot of people work from home now. You don't even need to take vacation. You can just go on a cruise and work from there and just not tell your boss, I guess. We have the Royal Caribbean app now, so you guys can download this on your app. You won't be able to use it until you actually are on the ship. But once you make a booking, you can go on, you can do all your check-in online now, which makes obviously the process at the terminal a lot smoother when you get on the ship. The reason also, one of the biggest reasons for the app too is because of the touchless. We want everything, you don't want to have to touch, there's contactless tracing, all that stuff. That's all done through the app now. So we've just really invested over the last year and a half, 2 years, a lot into this app. So when you get on the ship, you can make all your specialty dining reservations, all your, you know, it's almost like your personal butler. I like to say it will go with you all the time. You have your phone, you have like all the activities. You don't have to carry around that piece of paper anymore with the daily, you know, highlighting your activities that you want to do. Everything's on your app. You can make reservations for everything. All the shows you can pre-register for. So there's games, there's fun things to do on there that you can only do actually when you're on the ship. I actually just found this out the last time I was sailing, which was really cool. But there's so much on this app. Bionic Bar, this is our first, we have the first robotic bartender at sea. And then the rising tide bar, this will be on our Oasis class ship. And what this is it literally looks like a space shuttle. It's glass. It's a glass bar. You get on and it rises up and down 4 floors. So you can just sit in this bar and just literally go up and down the ship. But it's just really cool views and just a really cool atmosphere on this rising tide bar. I think I have some pictures of it as well. Entertainment. I'll talk about this later, but the new entertainment on board will blow your minds. It's so good. The virtual balcony staterooms, again, I'll talk about this later. The terminal at the port. So this is what I was saying. When you check in now, even on the app, you can do the muster station drill. So before, I'm sure this is huge for us. Like, this is the best thing that's ever happened. But for you that have sailed before, where you have to line up outside with all your life jackets on, and it takes literally half a day, I feel like you're wasting just doing this muster drill. You do it all on your phone now. So when you get on the ship, you have from, I think, like 10 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock that day to just go to your muster station and check in. That's all you have to do now. So everything is so easy. Just with all the credit cards, everything's downloaded onto this app before you go. So when you get to the terminal, literally all you do is check in and get on the ship. Your key cards are at your stateroom already. You don't have to get your key card or any of that stuff. So you're through the terminal. What do they, I think they call it the car to bar. Like, that's how in 15 minutes, car to bar in 15 minutes, you're on the ship in less than 15 minutes. And I've been on 2 ships that have sailed literally during the COVID time, which was like, there was a lot more paperwork. I was on in 15 minutes, even with all that. So smooth, easy going there. WOW bands, you'll get, you can purchase these on board, and basically this will be your room key. So you can swipe the band to open your stateroom door. You can make all your purchases on the ship with this band. Again, it's just, you don't have to carry things around. So it's nice to have those functionalities. So some common ship features. These are pretty standard to all of our ships. Obviously, the iconic rock climbing wall. I did it once, probably won't do it again. It's actually really hard. Our theaters, our Broadway shows, we have multiple pools, whirlpools, you name it, splash pads for kids. We have the actual Adventure Ocean station. This is a kids only club, and kids from 3 to 11 can go here. There's tons of activities. Cooking classes, arts and crafts, all that kind of thing. The sports court, almost on all of our ships. On the Quantum class ship, the sports court is actually inside. The main reason that they build it that way is because then they can use the Quantum class ships are actually built for cold weather. So these are the ships that are going to be going to, Norway and Alaska. So they're built, so a lot of the stuff is inside rather than outside, because you're obviously not going to be swimming in a pool when you're in Alaska, probably. So what they did with the sports court, when they put it inside, they're like, what else can we use to have this space functioning? So you'll see bumper cars now. So at night, the sports court turns into a bumper car pad. and full-size bumper cars, like, it's super fun. The Windjammer, the buffet, again, that's standard on all our ships. The comedy club, the comedians that we bring on board are probably some of the best comedians I've ever seen. I mean, I've paid for it to see a lot of comedians here just in Vancouver, $100 a ticket. And to be honest, the comedians on the Royal ships are probably better, or just as good. Casinos, conference centers for anyone that wants to host meetings, and then of course our vitality, fitness, and spa area. So massive gyms on all of our ships as well. The entertainment, so the Broadway shows, again, can't beat the Broadway shows. Again, if you've ever had to spend it, like pay for an actual ticket in any of the cities that you live in to go to one of these productions, $100, $200. This is all complimentary on our ship. So depending on which ship you go on, there's different Broadway shows. So you can see multiple Broadway shows just by sailing on all of our different ships. And then with Broadway shows, in addition to that, on our Oasis class, we have these aqua theater shows, and they're so good. You can see kind of the wires and the cables. People actually do high wire walks along this over you. It's so scary. And then all these acrobatics, divers. On our new ship that we have right now, 5 of the divers are actually former Olympians. So that's the caliber of talent that we have on board our ships in these shows. And then on the Quantum class ships, this is the Odyssey. We have this area at the back, and it's called 270. And by day, this is what it looks like. It's basically a lounge area. There's a cafeteria kind of where I am sitting right now, if you're looking at it, where you can just, read a book, like have a drink, have coffee, chit chat, whatever. And then at night, it turns into this theater. So if I go back to the screen, you'll see the plants kind of in the bottom here. At night, it turns into where like things come out of it, like acrobats, and people are coming out of it, and it looks like a completely different space, and it's all these lights, and there's all these robotic structures that just basically transform this whole area. So all those windows at the back just become a massive screen. And when you're sitting there watching the show, you feel like you're actually in the show because there's people all around you, like you're on the stage, essentially. So again, just a really, really cool theater. And then accommodations, pretty much standard on all our ships. You're inside your ocean view balcony and your interior ocean outside cabins. In the middle, you'll see an interior with sort of a screened window. This is a floor to ceiling screen there's a camera outside the ship, and it will actually, it's an inside cabin, but you'll feel like you're on balcony because it is basically showing you exactly what's happening outside. So if it's raining that day, you're going to see rain on that screen. If it's nighttime, you're going to see nighttime, and you can close the curtains because it's going to be black. But again, it's just for those people that to give a little bit, just not go so claustrophobic. And I've seen these rooms in real life before, and it looks way better than the picture. It's really, really cool. And then of course the bottom, the boardwalk view balcony. So this is on any of our ships that have a promenade. We will have balconies where you can overlook the center of the ship, and you can actually, there's actual balconies that you can walk out on. And then our suite class, our junior suite, our owner's suite, our aqua theater suite here is on the right. So that would be at the back of the ship. So when you walk out on this balcony, it's a walk around balcony, you will overlook that water show. These are the best seats in the house, hands down. And then we have our sky loft and our royal loft. The royal loft is really cool for people that maybe want to host dinner parties, or if you have a big group, or even a small, there's employee groups that will go on, because we have that dining table in there that will seat 8 people. These suites will come with royal genies, which is a butler essentially. So they can arrange all of these dinner parties for you. Again, if you had a wedding on board and you wanted just to have everybody in your room to meet, these are great spaces for that kind of activity. In the middle there, you're probably watching the video of the ultimate family suite. So really cool story behind this. So our former CEO, Richard Fain, he took his grandkids on a cruise. I think they were in the Royal Loft. But he said, Grandpa, wouldn't it be cool if there was a slide that went from the bedroom down to the living room? And bam, all of a sudden, the next ship we had a slide in the ultimate family suite. So there is actually a slide that goes from the bedroom to the living room. The ultimate family suites, it's a 3-bedroom. It'll sleep up to 10 people. So again, these are great rooms for that multi-generational. If you have grandparents, sisters, brothers, kids that want to just all stay in the same area, these are great suites. The only downfall with these are that there's only one ultimate family suite on each ship. So if you want that suite, you need to book as fast as possible. And then in our classes of ships, so we have 6 ship classes. Oh, that's a tongue twister. Ranging from 70,000 tons all the way up to 220,000 tons. So small ships, medium ships, big ships. Again, something for everyone. Some people don't like the big ships. They don't need all the the bells and whistles. They just want a more intimate experience. We have those ships as well. And it also depends on where we're sailing. This is where we deploy these ships. So obviously the small ships are going to sail in the more intimate ports that big ships can't get into. And so it's all personal preference, but all of them are beautiful. They're all, and we always stay up to date. And I'll talk about that in a little bit, but our 6 classes of ships have multiple ships within the class. So our total fleet right now with the new Wonder of the Seas is 26 ships. So I think we are the biggest, the biggest out there. And then destination-wise, we have sailings and itineraries all over the world. I could spend 8 hours talking about every port and every itinerary, but I'm just going to touch on some throughout this presentation. But again, you can see all the white, those are all our home ports. So again, there's multiple places that you can sail in and out of. And when I talked about refurbishing our ships, These 6 ships, we call it Royal Amplify. So basically we have not even just refurbished the ships or made them newer, we have added features, we've added restaurants, we've added pool areas, we've moved things around that didn't make sense before on these ships. So even though these ships are older, they're almost new because we've literally gutted them and everything completely changed on them. The main things that we've changed on these re-amplified ships are the pool decks and attractions, the bars and nightlife, and the dining options. If anything, we've added more. And then speaking of a newly amplified ship, the Navigator is sailing out of Los Angeles now on the West Coast. So this is the first time that we've had a ship back in this area in over a decade. So this was really exciting for us to have it sailing again into like the Mexico area. I first just want to explain some of so those 6 ships I showed you, these will all be the same features that we've added to them, but we've added like 2 more big water slides called I think these are the biggest water slides on any ship out there right now. The Blaster. So basically when you're going down, you're in a tube, you can have 1 or 2 people, but there's these jets that like jet out and they're shooting water. So you're going faster and faster as you go down. And then we have the Riptide, which is you lay on a mat and you go head first down the water slide. Part of the water slide's over the ship. I think you go so fast though you don't even realize it, but it's open and you can see out. So really great for kids, especially. And then the new amplified pool deck, we've doubled the size of it. So we've added a lot more chairs. You don't feel crowded anymore. There's a lot more spaces to enjoy. And then we've added the lime and coconut bar area to the pool deck area. So again, just a lot of live music throughout the day. They have a special cocktail called the lime and coconut, and it's really cool. It's served in like a little pail, like a sandcastle pail. You can take it home. It's a keepsake, but and with a straw. So it's just it's a fun cocktail bar for sure. We've added hooked seafood, so a casual seafood house. We've added Jamie's Italian restaurant to all of these ships, and also Starbucks. And we've also added the bamboo room, which is a tiki style Polynesian sort of cocktail lounge. Again, just a really fun area to be in to have a cocktail at night, either before or after dinner. And then we've added Playmaker sports bar. I'm a huge football fan, so I spend a lot of time in this area. There is a la carte, you can buy chicken wings. There's a small price for them. I don't like chicken wings personally, but everyone I was with was raving about them, how good they were. So if you are a sports addict or don't want to miss that football game or whatever, this is the place that you're going to be hanging out in. And then our ice skating shows, again, one of the US Olympians that was just in the past Olympics, he started out skating on our ships. 2 of our ships. So that was really neat to see him now actually in the Olympics. So the ship, again, the caliber of talent on these, it's incredible. So the Navigator, if you're interested in the sailings out of LA, we do 3, 4, 5, and 7-night sailings. So there's a range of sailings you can do. The ones I really like, I mean, maybe I'm just impartial to this because I'm on the West Coast, but the 3-night sailings, perfect for long weekend getaways. They sail on weekends all year. So you basically depart on a Friday, you come back Monday, and the price point's really good. So again, just for a short getaway within North America, great option. And then we have our 4 nights, our 5 nights, and then obviously our 7-night that says more intense Mexico. But a lot of people aren't even aware that the Navigator is actually on the West Coast now. So I just wanted to make sure that you knew about that one if it's something you're interested in. And then Alaska right now is really, really big. Obviously the summer's just around the corner. So we haven't had ships here in 2 years, 2 summers. So I think people are like, we're taking advantage of it when the ships are there, because you never know, right? So, and multi-generational travel onto Alaska, huge. Like a lot of people, I don't think thought it was a kid vacation before. Completely different mindsets now. I think a lot of grandparents are like, you know what, with everything that's happened, we're taking the family away. And Alaska's, sailing out of Vancouver, and it's easy for everybody to get to without, having to go to Europe or wherever. So again, it's been really, really popular for us. So just to go back to the Quantum Class, there's those bumper cars I was talking about. This Quantum Class ship also has the flow rider on it. So maybe you can surf and I don't know, surf and ski. I don't know. It's in the glacier. Like, but I think that would be just a cool thing to say you did. You went surfing in Alaska. But the skydiving. So this is our ripcord by iFly. And this is our simulated skydiving. Unfortunately, I've never tried it. I didn't, there wasn't enough space the last time I went on the ship. I was so sad. But everyone, again, that does this, like, absolutely loves it. So if you want to skydive, whether it's skydiving, this is a great option. So the Quantum class ships, so we have the Ovation and the Quantum, but they're sailing out of Seattle. They're obviously too big to come in under the bridge in Vancouver, but we do have them sailing to Seattle as well. Again, Alaska, there's so much stuff to do. I can't even describe it. People always say, like, I can't believe you go to Alaska when you live in Vancouver, but when I went, I was just blown away. Like, it's different. Like, it's just seeing these glaciers. I don't know, there's something about the smell in the air, that cool, crisp, clean. It was just amazing. It's really hard to describe unless you go there, but there's so many really cool things you can do. You know, pan for gold. You can go in Juneau. We went to a salmon bake, and then you sit around these fires outside and roast marshmallows. You can take a train. Dog sledding is big there. Take a helicopter to where the dog sleds are. Whale watching. I went. The whale was right there. I was a bit scared that he was gonna, like, you know, our boat was gonna tip over, but that's how close you get. So really cool things. And then wildlife, tons of wildlife. The best option if you really want to see all the wildlife is do one of the cruise tours that we offer before or after the cruise to Alaska itself. Everyone that goes on the cruise tour says they're hands down better than the cruise itself, because you're literally up close and personal with all this wildlife. And then just other, again, short cruises that are on the Pacific coast in Canada right now. We have the Serenade and the Radiance going from Los Angeles, going up to Vancouver. Again, really good price points. These ones are sailing in April, and they've been really popular. And I think it's because it's a last minute getaway, it's close, and it's short, right? So again, lots of options if you want to come visit me over here on the West Coast. And like I said, the Quantum Innovation will be doing 7-night Seattle, Alaska trip. The Radiance is the one way. So the Radiance will either start in Vancouver or end in Vancouver, but this is a great ship if you did want to do a cruise tour where you want to, you know, take the train into the Rocky Mountains, or you want to do Alaska into Denali National Park, just have more an intense Alaska experience. And then the Serenade, obviously for us on the West Coast, this one's popular because it's Vancouver. I can get to the ship from my house right now in 10 minutes. So it's easy peasy for us. Maybe a little bit more of a haul for you, but again, Alaska is it's doing really, really well this year. And then we have Hawaii. Again, these are starting to pick up. These are when the ships, after they're finished the Alaska season here, they will reposition to Hawaii. So again, lots of options, 10 nights, 9 nights on the bigger ships. And then we have the 11-night Hawaii on the Radiance. Out of Vancouver. The Radiance one actually is, I was looking last night, the inside and balconies are already sold out on it. So super popular. But if you were just like, I really, really want to do that, 2023, you need to book it now. Because these ones just sell out because it happens once or twice a year. So. And then, to talk about the Wonder. So this is the ship that I'm supposed to be on right now. It's sailing. It actually starts sailing for passengers tomorrow. It's its first sailing, Friday to Friday departure. So out of Fort Lauderdale right now. In May, it leaves. It goes back to Europe for the summer season, and then it will come back to the Caribbean in November and sail out of Port Canaveral. Port Canaveral is my favorite port to sail out of in Florida, by the way. Nostalgia, I guess, from being a kid and going to Disney, but I love Port Canaveral. So just to touch on, so our Oasis is Wonder is part of our Oasis class ship. If you guys know anything about the Oasis class ship, you know that they're so massive that we have to divide them into 7 neighborhoods. So there's literally neighborhoods on the ship. There's, you know, Central Park, and there's the boardwalk and other areas. On the Wonder, it's even bigger. So we had to add an 8th neighborhood. And it's this all suite neighborhood. So if you guys are staying in a suite, you have access to this private exclusive area. It's only for suite guests. So nobody else can have access into it. But again, just a really cool area of the ship where you can just chill, relax. It's right at the back. They have like that plunge pool there. There's a bar. I have some more pictures here. It's really pretty. Just so, you know, like I can just imagine just sitting there. I'm sure there's no, actually we had a Royal Genie on one of our calls yesterday. It was yesterday. And she was saying she's working on the ship right now. And she says that you never see anyone. Like, you'll never see anyone in here because it's so big for the amount of suite guests that there is. So you literally, you can just pretend like you're on your own yacht, but you have access to all the fun things on the ship. And then the Wonder Playscape is new. So on the Oasis class, there's 2 flow riders. On this one, we took one of the flow riders out and we made this underwater adventure area for kids. And there's this cavern that you can sort of crawl into, and it almost feels like it's real. Like, you can reach out and touch the sea creatures in it. So for small kids, it's going to be a really cool area for them to explore. And then the pool deck, you can see like the pool there's 2 pool decks there. The ship's so big, like it's so wide. It's unreal. Again, so much space. There's a adults only solarium within this pool deck area as well. It's the first climatized solarium on any of our fleet. And then at the back of the ship, on the same level as the pool area, we have this new bar called the View Bar. Another interesting fact about this is this was actually supposed to be in an infinity pool on the ship. But when they built the ship, there was too many areas where there was water. So there's too much water weight that they had to take the infinity pool section out. And then, so we've actually created this really cool view bar at the back. So again, just a really nice area to go before dinner, have a cocktail, watch the sunset, and then just hang out. Mason Jar, this is a brand new restaurant that's new to our fleet. It's Southern style comfort food. And just wait, the food looks so good. So chicken and waffles, Nashville hot crispy chicken sandwich. So the CEOs were on the ship and they had a debate. They're like, what's better, the chicken burger or the burger? Hands down, they said the chicken burger is the best, and it's better than Chick-fil-A. They named all the famous chicken places in the States, but they said better than any of those. So bourbon milkshake. They said there's also a drink called the peanut butter old fashioned. And it comes with a side of peanut butter and jam sandwich. So just a really cool family, like fun new restaurant that we have on board. And then Social 100 and Patio. This is a kids it's a teen area. Again, I heard that there's a secret entrance that only teens can get in, parents can't get in with them. But again, like, just meet new friends on the ship and just hang out with teens. I don't think you'll ever see your teenager again once they get into this area. I already talked about the accommodations, but this is a view of sort of the ultimate family suite there. Just shows you how big the balcony is as well. Just to, have that extra space, the whirlpool. And then this is the Royal Loft. Again, massive balcony, and you can see there's also a baby grand piano in this room. So, and then the Wonder, like I said, will be sailing in Europe. It will be doing a 7-night Western Mediterranean cruise starting in May 22. Perfect for families. Again, like I said, those families that they're called learning families now, basically want to take their kids on a fun adventure. So the ship, but then the parents can explore Europe. So it's the best for everyone. To see all these amazing ports, it would be an incredible family experience for sure. And then just quickly to go through Coco Cay. So this is our private destination. This is our big island. Again, you've probably seen pictures of it before, but you'll see the pier at the bottom there. That's where the ship docks. When you get to the pier and you get to the island, you can veer right, and this will be our thrill area, or you veer left and you go to the chill area. So you want to chill or you want to thrill. That's essentially the concept of it. So it's like, do you want to adventure or do you just want to relax? And then I'll go through some of the features on the island. But just some ways to chill at the island. We have our massive pool here. So for people that don't like beach and sand, we have a pool. And then for people that do like beaches, you can rent cabanas, or you can just enjoy the water or the beach, either way. So beach or pool. This is a sort of a zoomed in area of the Oasis Lagoon Bar. So this is the biggest pool in the Caribbean, including all the all-inclusive resort, anything. It's the biggest pool. You have so much space. Every time I've been to this island 5 times, and this is literally what it looks like. It's never crowded. Like, you have your own pool to yourself. The swim bar gets a little bit more crowded, but it's just, this area is fun. There's music. It's a really lively area. Just people watching and having a drink. It's a fun area. We have Coco Cay Beach Club. This area is, again, another exclusive area. So there is a charge to get into Coco Cay Beach Club. I think it's like $95 or $100 US. You can get discounts when cruise planner deals come up. But again, it's not, if that's for the entire day, it's all included food. You get, all your floaties are included, that kind of thing. And I'll just show you, zoom in. So this is the clubhouse area. So again, this is your own private pool area. You have the beach if you want to go to the beach. And when I'm talking about like all inclusive food, like for lunch, you have steak and lobster. It's not, just burgers. You can get burgers and stuff, but it's not just burgers. It's like actually really good food. And then you have, of course, your bar there. And then if you really want to splurge, you can rent one of these floating cabanas and then instead of being in the Caribbean, now you're in Fiji or Tahiti. But fun. I actually got to experience this. I was lucky. I got to experience one of these back in November. And it was so much fun. I think there was like 8 or 10 of us. But perfect if you had a family or, a group of friends or whatever, just to rent one of these. You'll see the table there or whatever has a lock on it. So you can lock all your purses and, money or anything that you bring on the island, you can lock in that. So you'll feel comfortable leaving it. And then, everything is safe. You can't see it, but on the right, there's one of those hammocks that literally hangs over the water that you can lay in. The thing right beside the couch, it's not a washroom, but it's a change area. So you can go in there and change in your bathing suit or whatever. And there's lifeguards everywhere, just to let you know. I think there's over 100 lifeguards that live on this island and work here every day. So again, safety wise, it's fantastic. And then these cabanas are also available for rent. So there's cabanas, depending on where you are on the island, you can rent them in Thrill. So for instance, if you did rent a cabana in Thrill Water Park, it includes 6 water park passes. So it's actually a really good deal. So if you did have a family of 6, it's almost beneficial to rent the cabana because by the time you pay for the water passes, it's not that much more. And then, you have your grandparents that can stay there in the shade while the kids hang out in the water slide area. And then you can rent them again. You can rent them all throughout the island if you want more privacy, more in the jungle and the tree area. These are some of the activities that we do have small charges for on the island. So Thrill Water Park, we have for the zip lining and the hot air balloon. And the reason why we have to have a charge, it's unfortunate, but we can't have, when there's 2 ships in port, we can't have 8,000 people that want to go up in the hot air and the balloon. So we have to have a charge to make sure that, everybody that really wants to do it does it. So that's why I always recommend, if you guys do want to do one of these activities, book it before you go away. You can still book it on the ship, but it could be sold out. So just if you really wanted to do something, it's happened to me where I get on and I'm like, I can't go. There's also excursions you can do from this island. I went in December, I went swimming with the pigs. People are like, that's so weird, but I loved it so much. Like, just, you take a boat over to this other island and there's like all these pigs on the beach and you literally swim with them. It's just a really fun and a cool thing to do. And then Thrill Water Park, just some pictures again of all the different water slides. So all of this stuff would be included in that Thrill Water Park pass. The wave pool, largest wave pool in the Caribbean. This is one thing I actually haven't done yet since when I've been on the island. So maybe next time I go, I'll have to check that out. And then there's the pools that are just more interactive. There's the lily pads, the adventure pool. So the little kids love this area so much. And then this water slide in Splash Summit, this is my favorite. It's so much fun. It's hard to tell what's going on, but in the yellow and purple water slide, you go down in a tube and usually you go 2 to 4 people. So when you come out on the left there, it goes down. And then what it'll do is, it's called the slingshot. It'll slingshot you up. And it doesn't look that scary, but when you're on it, your heart drops. And the craziest thing is that when you come out of the tube, you don't know the way your tube is, if you're going to go down backwards or if you're going to go down forwards. It never failed. I went down it probably 5 or 6 times, and every single time I went down backwards. So I don't know, but that was my favorite for sure. And then the zip lining, you can see, you probably don't want to go on that middle line because the water, sometimes it'll spray up and the person on that line gets wet every time. And then Splash Away Bay, I just want to mention this. This is more for like the toddlers, the smaller kids. This is outside of Thrill Water Park, so this is complimentary. So kids can still enjoy a water park experience without having to pay to actually go into the water park. And then we have restaurants, again, complimentary restaurants all over the island. On South Beach, there's it's called the Snack Shack, and they serve like burgers and chicken burgers, even funnel cake. In homemade funnel cake, and you can smell it as soon as you walk by on the island and the beach. You can smell funnel cake everywhere. So lots of options. And then Labadee is our second private island. So again, this is completely different than Perfect Day. It's more, you'll see it, it's more lush, it's more mountainous, it's more of a, like there's lots of trees, it's more nature, a lot more adventures for nature, that kind of thing. You'll see the zip line, it's really long. There's a picture I'll show you later to give you like a depth range, but again, lots of activities you could do, just chill on the beach, go kayaking, you could do parasailing excursions. They have this Dragon's Tail coaster that goes through the mountains and the trees. It's like a little mini roller coaster. And then, or you can just relax, like, and just rent a cabana and just chill for the day if you want. So on the top right there, that's the zip line. So it literally goes from where you're looking all the way down to that far island ahead of you. So it's quite a long zip line. These are 3 itineraries, again, just random itineraries are pulled up. But the reason I pulled these ones up is because I wanted to show you that each of these itineraries goes to both of these destinations, Labadee and Perfect Day. And we recently just started going back to Labadee, so we're really excited about that. But again, you can just take a picture if you want, if you're interested in these. But again, there's so many more options, but these are just ones that actually touch both of those islands. And then Canada, New England, I'm going to just spend 2 seconds on this. Deployment for Canada and New England just came out probably 4 days ago, like this past week. So anyone that wants to, go to sail to Quebec, anyone who wants to see the fall foliage, those cruises are ready to book now for the fall. There was this I found this the other day, just like, and I was just super interested in it because Greenland is one on my bucket list. But there's a 14-night sailing, and these are the ports that it'll go to. It'll sail out of New York, so Cape Liberty in New Jersey. It'll go to Halifax. You spend 3 days in Greenland, and then you come back, you do St. John's and come back to New York. But the price point on that one for 14 days, so good. And again, there's only one sailing. I think it's September 14th of 2023. So if Greenland's on your bucket list, you'll want to get on that one. And then Europe, Barcelona, one of my favorites. But Europe is a really great destination to go to by cruise. First of all, a lot of the European countries, especially when you get into Northern Europe, they're expensive. To do a land-based tour in these countries is so expensive. So cruise is a really good option, again, for families. But you only have to unpack once, because there's sometimes you're on a destination or you're on an itinerary where you're visiting 6 countries or more in 1 week or 2 weeks. So being able to just unpack and just be able to explore these multiple bucket list destinations, it's fantastic. There's so many itineraries again in Europe to choose from. And again, like I said, it's great for families, because a lot of times in families, it's really hard to get quad rooms. You can get triples, but quads don't exist. So to be able to bring a family of 4, it's a really inexpensive way to do it. And then for this summer, again, this is almost going to mimic what 2023 looks like, but I'm just going to focus on this summer. But we have 8 ships there, the Wonder and the Odyssey, obviously being our biggest, newest ships. They'll be sailing out of Rome, and the Wonder out of Barcelona. We have sailings out of Southampton that will do more Norway itineraries. We have departures from Haifa, Israel. We have Athens, we have Amsterdam, Copenhagen, Venice. So there's multiple cities that you can disembark and embark from. And then Mediterranean, these are going to be, so the Mediterranean is going to be more your Greece, Croatia, Italy, France sailings. So again, that blue water, those whitewashed buildings, Mediterraneans. Again, I love it. I rave about it. So again, I just pulled up some sample itineraries. Again, price points on these starting at $512 plus tax, like for an 8-night Western Mediterranean, it's crazy. The Vision of the Seas, this one in particular, it keeps coming up. People are booking this one, the October 27th departure. The Greek cruise on the Brilliance, again, if you look at this one's, I love these itineraries because they're called open jaw, which means that they'll start in one city and end in another. It's not a round trip. So these are great. If you do a 7-night Greek cruise, you add on 3 nights prior and 3 nights post. I always do this with my mom every single year. I love these ones because you get to actually spend more time in those cities. So this one, Rome, but then the middle part, the Amalfi Coast in Italy, for all of you that have been there before, I'm sure you're going to say the same thing. It's like, it's so, it's so beautiful, picturesque. Sicily, Santorini, Ephesus, Turkey, and Mykonos. So that itinerary itself is so good. And then we have the best of Europe. Again, like just a really good price point for that April sailing. And you can see that you're visiting so many different countries. every one of those countries is so different. So you're going to get a different experience every time you port in one of these countries. And then just some examples of, if you were interested in, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, I can't go to Europe for 7 nights, it's too short. You can always obviously do longer itineraries, or you can do back to back. Some people like to try one ship, get on another ship, you know, and then just sort of go with the flow. And this is an example of one of those where you could do a 7-night Greek cruise from Venice. And then it obviously doesn't line up exactly. You end in July 1st and you have to, unfortunately, stay overnight in Venice. Unfortunately, for 1 night before you board the Rhapsody, and then it goes Venice to Israel, and then you stay on that ship, and you would do Israel like round trip, obviously going to doing Greece and stuff again. This one overlaps a lot, but when you go to these places like Mykonos and Santorini, everyone gets back on the ship and they say, oh, it wasn't enough time. Well, now you have 2 days in each of those places, so you, like, you know, all in one go. So great option if you can actually set it up to do back-to-backs. And then Northern Europe, we just won't focus on the Russia part. Oh, it's horrible, but anyways, I'll just focus on the good ones, on the good itineraries. But the British Isles, these by far my favorite Northern Europe sailings on the Jewel. As you can see, I purposely put all 3, and you'll see the dates and they line up perfectly. You can do back to back to back. So you could do a 12-night or you could do a 36-night, and there's actually 2 other itineraries after it. So you could technically make it into a 55-night sailing if you wanted to, but these ones don't overlap. And if anything, like the first one does an overnight in Dublin and the last one does 2 overnights in Iceland. So again, you're going to get a lot of like more intimate, intense time in these places. The only place it does overlap obviously is Amsterdam when you're changing itineraries. But again, Amsterdam, there's so much to do there. But again, you're like, you know, you're in Ireland, and then you're in England, and you're in Norway, and then all of a sudden you're in, you know, Iceland. Like, it's just, these ones are amazing, these ones. And again, these ones are selling really well for us as well. The Holy Land, if anyone's interested, we do have, again, I just picked one, but we have 12 nights, we have 13 nights. We have overnights in, this one is in Haifa, but we do have overnights in Athens, we have overnights in Jerusalem. So depending on where, you know, you want to spend more of your time. And again, price points on these ones are really good as well. And these ones are on the Odyssey, which is our big new ship. So much to do, let alone on the islands, but on the ship as well. And then just to end with the biggest cruise that we have, it's our first ever world cruise, 274 days. It's crazy. It's 85% sold out already. So if you are interested in this one, you need to book it right away. But we just opened up, there's 4 sections at the top. These are called our expeditions. So if you were really interested in doing something like this, but maybe didn't want to do 274 days away from your grandkids or your puppy or whatever, we have options to do shorter ones, 60 days, 80 days, whatever. So different parts of the world, but there's a lot of inclusions. If when you do the world cruise, you know, you get your laundry, all your gratuities. We have, I think, up to 15 shore excursions included, which is like a $7,500 value alone. When you look at the price point and the value for what you're getting on this world cruise, it's and break it down even per month, you'll realize it's a really good deal. But again, it's almost sold out. So if you are interested in that, definitely reach out to your advisor sooner than later, because that one's going to be gone soon. And then to end, so I have all the promotions. So our standard March promotions are our 30% off, first and second guests up to, and if you sail in 2022, you will automatically earn $150 off instantly off the price. If any of you guys out there have future cruise credits to use, we will offer you a $100 onboard credit if you book this month. And then on top of that, if you're a Crown and Anchor Society member, you'll earn an additional $50, up to a $50 onboard credit as well. And then the Royal Adventure Sale. So stay tuned for this. So this is the time to really think about where you want to travel, when you want to go, because next week the Adventure Sale starts. And this is an Expedia exclusive sale. So you'll only be able to do your bookings through Expedia. But basically, we're going to be giving you, for any balcony sailing that's longer than 6, the 5-night is just complimentary dining and onboard credit, but with the 6-night and above, which is more popular, you'll receive complimentary specialty dining, one plus just one, unfortunately, one complimentary spa treatment. So that'll obviously go to the wife. And a $75 onboard credit. So the booking window for that, so the sale starts on the 7th and it goes to the 17th. But definitely good just to contact your advisor and get the ball rolling, so that when that date comes, you're ready to book. And then it covers a lot of sailings, and it's also exclusive with the Expedia group prices as well. So again, these Expedia group prices, like Donna was saying, you're never going to find a better price than going to Expedia, because they have already blocked this space a long time ago before the prices went up. So these are combinable with those rates as well. So fantastic sale. So that's all I have.
We do have chat, guys. So if anybody has questions, I'm not sure if you can unmute yourself, and I apologize. This is, oh, I see we have a hand up. Now, Tim, maybe you're hear me. Can you unmute? I believe it's Rob. Apologize, my screen keeps jumping on me. Nope, hand is gone. Rob, if you can like put in the chat, I'll be able to see it, and I can. Leanne, can you see the chat? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't have anything yet.
No, I just see the water slides sound awesome.
Yeah.
They absolutely, yes, they are. I spent a whole day on them and they're awesome. The Devil's Peak, the really, really high one. I just have to like the stairs up there. You need a vacation when you get up there just from walking, because there's a lot of stairs, but it's totally worth it. It's so much fun.
Does anybody have questions? Oh, there we go. Rob has talking permission if he wants to talk. I'm not sure if you heard me, Rob, but you can unmute. If you move your mouse a bit, it is on the bottom of the left-hand side. Or you can type, whatever you prefer. Oh, what if you booked? So here's something from Jeff. What if you booked something 2 weeks ago? Does any of this apply?
Oh, this one I believe is for new bookings. So I want to say no.
Jeff, I hope you're in a group, because usually we have some amazing, I was pricing out, even for November, some of the prices from us to the going rate was phenomenal difference.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. So people that booked prior probably got a really good price. The prices are all up now. I've noticed that even just a month, the prices have jumped. And there was promotions before too, with onboard credits and such as well. So chances are you might have got a better rate anyways.
Jeff, I would suggest you can talk to your consultant, whoever you booked with, and they can look into it for you for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
We can make magic. We can make it.
And if anybody thinks of anything later, here's our information right here, the email. You were probably invited by a consultant, so please reach out to them. This is the 188 phone number. Again, depending on if you deal with a certain store, you can feel free to call there, and everybody will make sure you get the information you need. And does anybody else, I don't see any other hands or anything. I don't want to like cut everybody off, but I think we're good. And again, we do have this recorded. So if you've seen something you want to see and you're like, oh, darn, I didn't catch that, or, the phone rang or the doorbell went off, just, again, reach out to one of our stores or the phone number on the screen, and we can make sure that you get the recording as well. And the same thing for anybody who has a friend that they want to make sure that they, just couldn't make it. Absolutely. Just let us know. And you're welcome, Shelley. And I have to agree, the water slides look pretty awesome.
I just want to say thank you guys for listening to me for the last hour. I know I sometimes talk really fast, so hopefully it was okay, but I really would love to see you guys sail on Royal.
Well, thank you so much, Leanne. And thank you everybody for taking the hour out of your night, for joining us. And again, please feel free to let us know if you need the recording. We can share that with you as well. So thank you so much, Leanne. And I wish you were on Wonder, but I'm glad you were here tonight.
All right. Bye.
All right. Have a great night. Thank you. Thank you, Tim.